Crap, I just got concealer on my shirt. Again, one day. Oh my God. Why do I even try to do this sometimes? Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to do an updated brow tutorial. I did a brow video like way in the beginning of starting this whole little YouTube endeavor, and it's really good as far as going in depth and showing you guys, especially as beginners, using the golden ratio, how to get the perfect shape and arch for your face. If you didn't see that video, even though it was an older video and I didn't know what I was doing as far as editing and I'm a little awkward, it's really good to know. If you're just like, I don't know how to get this shape, what are you talking about? Go look at that video first, and all credit goes to Anastasia of Anastasia Beverly Hills, because she is the first person that I know of to use the golden ratio and apply it to brows. So with all that being said, I hope that you do enjoy this video, and if you do, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up. I know you hear lots of YouTubers saying that in their videos, but the more likes that you get and activity on the videos that you post, the more the algorithm is going to push it forward, the more people will see it. So it really helps me out when you do give me the thumbs up. And while you're down there, if you are not subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing before you go. And lastly, turn on that bell notification with all notifications on so that you get notified each and every time I upload. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. All right, let's get you guys a little closer so we can see what we're doing. Hi, now that we are nice and tight and close so you can see what we are doing, I do want to apologize. I've had a little bit of a cold, so I sound a bit nasal right now, but let's just go with the flow. The first thing that I'm going to start with is the Benefit Goof Proof Pencil, and I use the shade 2. So as you can see, I don't really have a lot of brows to work with. What I do have is pretty light, you can't really see it. And I like using this pencil first, even though it's a bit thicker. If you're familiar with Anastasia's Brow Definer, it's similar in that it's thicker. It kind of has that teardrop shape to it. But the formula of this I like better than the Brow Definer because it really grabs onto the hairs, and I feel like it's almost like a good primer. You will see that I'm gonna go in with a sharper, more defined pencil after I kind of lay down the initial color. I like to kind of start right in the middle where the arch would be. And if you didn't watch the golden ratio video, just a quick little summary. Your brows should start using your nose from the tip of your nose up, then the arch should be right through the iris, and the tail should be from the tip of the nose to the edge of your eye up. So that's kind of the shape that we're going for. So I'm gonna just start by filling in the bottom of the brow. I don't wanna go too low, just kind of getting the natural shape that my brows want to give. If you mess up, don't worry, you can fix it with concealer afterwards if it's not super precise. I do feel like this little bald spot here I want to get, just kind of going back and forth. And now that I have that part done, I am just gonna kind of fill in, starting with the hairs where I have them, knowing that this is going to be the highest point of the arch. Just light back and forth. I don't have, if you can see, any hairs here, but we're gonna fill that in and take care of that in just a second. So now you can see that that's laid down. I'm going to very lightly, because we're gonna do hair-like strokes after this to make sure that it looks nice and natural. I'm just going to take what hairs I do have and get a little bit of product on them, very lightly, and then brush it through. Now I'm gonna go in with Benefit's Precisely My Brow. This is also in the shade 2. What you'll notice is it's super duper fine, so you can create hair-like strokes. My only issue is if you're a redhead, I just wish that there was a little bit more warmth to it. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll add some of Anastasia's Brow Wiz in the shade Caramel because it has a little bit more warmth, but not everybody's gonna have 500 different brow products to work with. But I'm telling you, if you wanna get a natural brow, this is the way to do it. So now that we have the base down, I'm just going to start creating hair-like strokes right at the front of the brow, but very light-handed. Now, if you look closely, you can see that there's just a little bit of a divot down here, if that makes sense. Like the brow kind of dips down. I'm gonna take the spoolie and just brush the hairs down and very lightly, kind of back and forth, fill this in. Not going above where the hair naturally is growing. I feel like when you start drawing in color where your hair isn't natural, like way above your natural brow, that's when it starts to look really fake. So that is how you apply the pencil. Now I'm gonna go in and just clean it up with a little bit of concealer. I've seen people do this a number of different ways. I've tried out a number of different things just to see what works for me the best. I like to go in with a brush that has a bit of an angle to it. It's by MAC and it is their number 208 brush. But I have also seen people go in with just like a regular concealer brush as well as a flat type of eyeliner definer brush. Really, it's whatever works best for you. If you have a few of these in your collection, just play around. Now I've just taken like a little bit of concealer that's maybe half a shade lighter than my skin tone, but I wouldn't go any lighter than that or it's gonna look really unnatural. I'm just going to very lightly like dip in and then kind of rub down and then down that way. Like if you saw, I flipped my brush just to get the brush as thin as possible. And then, I mean, this is a pretty good brow. I really don't like doing this on the top, but I will do it maybe from like the arch over to define the tail. Then I'm just going to kind of wipe off any excess that I have on my brush, any excess concealer. And I'm just going to kind of blend from where I made that line, from where I cleaned up and kind of like back and forth and down. Back and forth and down, just to kind of blend it out. So I think that's a pretty darn good shape. You can see it frames the face nicely. It's like a totally different look with no brow versus a brow. And then the very last thing we are going to do is set this with a clear brow gel. This is the Benefit 24-hour brow setter gel. I've tried Anastasia's, I like this better. As far as the other pencils that I used in this, I have a hard time finding cheaper drugstore dupes because the shades are just not right. They don't really cater to people with red hair, unfortunately, but that's besides the point. So now without getting too much product on the brush, like I just kind of make sure that after I pull it out, kind of wipe it on the wiper just a bit, and then I kind of brush in upward motions. What the brow gel does is it makes sure that your hairs, the actual hairs that you have, are nice and defined and you don't just get that block looking brow that's super fake. I can't stand that. And then we're just gonna brush through it with a spoolie. Any spoolie will work. You can even use one of the spoolies on the back of either one of those pencils. That's fine. But I'm just going to kind of brush up. And then I'm just going to take a few of these and just kind of push them over. I prefer that natural, feathery looking brow. What I really enjoy about this brow gel over all the other ones that I've tried is it keeps your hairs in place, but it doesn't feel like crusty, if that makes sense, or like hard like a hairspray would. I love it. Don't tweeze your eyes necessarily before you do your brows, especially if you have thin eyebrows like me, because a lot of times after you do your brows and you use that gel, it grabs some of those strays and you don't even notice them. But if you do notice some stray hairs that need to be tweezed at that point, that's when I would tweeze them. You'll notice you're tweezing a lot less hairs, and that for me is really important. The other thing that I wanted to say is if you're having trouble getting the product to grab onto the hair, then brush the hair in the opposite direction and then lay down the color with your pencil. You can also do this type of a technique with powder, whatever really suits you, but this is just the way that I do it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be sure to leave all of the products that I used in the description box down below, along with the other products that I have on today. As I said before, if you do like this video, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so before you leave, and turn on that bell with all notifications on so that you get notified each and every time I upload. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. I'm going to my psychiatrist today. It is the first time I have seen a psychiatrist in I don't know how many years. If you've been watching my videos, you know this has been a long time coming, so I kind of wanted to distract myself this morning when I put on my makeup because I was feeling really anxious about it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go for super rosy, goldy, glowing, and just try to feel like the goddess I know that I'm gonna feel like one day, just because whew, this anxiety has been a trip, and yesterday was not a good day. So I don't know what I have to do to make these EFFEXOR withdrawals just freaking go away, but it's gonna happen. Hashtag can't stop, won't stop. Finally, I do wanna thank you guys for all the love on the last 2 videos. It's not that it got like 1,000,000 views, but the comments and the messages, the direct messages you guys took the time to send and just share with me have just really made me want to keep making videos and just push through this time in my life. So thank you. I really do love you guys. I do.